there's levels of measurement when you're getting some data. You'll be asked a lot of questions on your homework about which level is this. And I'm going to go through in order that I have them on this page. Nominal is data that's a name, a label, or a category, and you couldn't put them in order. For example, the ice cream one I was talking about. If I asked you all your favorite flavor of ice cream, you're all going to give me a name for your favorite flavor, but I wouldn't know which way to order them in. Like, does chocolate come before strawberry? After I counted, maybe I could order them, right? But there's no order to those categories of anything. If I asked you your student ID number, that's a number, but what is your student ID really, what is it really?
A list of numbers.
It's a list of numbers, and what does it represent?
You as a student.
It just represents you as a student. It's kind of the same thing as your name, really, right? Your student ID number is really your name. Like your social security number is like your name. It wouldn't make sense to average your social security numbers. Say, hey, the average in my class is this number. I mean, it doesn't make sense because you're really talking about names. So nominal are categories that seem obvious, but sometimes they're numbers that we use as names. The phone number that, who came up with that? Celia, right? Was that you that said phone number earlier? Phone numbers are really names too. This is the number in my phone that goes with this person's name, right? So that would be another example of nominal. So there's any kind of answer that's a category or really is used as a label or a category. That's nominal. Ordinal is next. That's where you actually have an order, but you don't know the difference between the categories. For example, let's say I asked you to rank these drinks. I'm putting 3 drinks up here. Coffee, water, and milk. I don't know who drinks milk anymore. I do. I love milk. And I asked you to rank them in order of your favorites, 1, 2, and 3. Who wants to volunteer their answers? What do you got? What's your favorite?
Water.
This is your number 1?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Then milk.
Then milk?
And coffee.
Then coffee. This is her order. Yours might be different, that's okay. So she has these in order, but does she like coffee, like water 3 times as much as coffee? Or does she like water and milk almost the same, but coffee's a far distant third? You know what I'm asking here? It's like we don't know what the difference is. I probably would agree with her if it was my list as well. And I would say, yes, water's my number 1 for sure. And milk is pretty close to here. But coffee's probably on the bottom corner of that board over there if I listed all the other drinks in the world. I don't drink coffee. I can't stand coffee. I bring tea every day. And so coffee is a very, very distant third for me. You know it's my third and her third. But we don't know the differences. So that's what it means when it says the differences are meaningless. You can put them in order, but you can't really compare one to the other and know how much better or worse it is. We do this when you go on and you rank. They rank movies and give them stars, from 1 to 5 stars. A 5-star movie versus a 1-star movie. Does that mean it's 5 times better? I mean, or how much better is a 4-star versus, you know it's better, but you don't really know the differences. So all you can do is put them in order, but not really explain the differences. That's ordinal. All right there? Ordinal. You can put them in order, but not make any sense of the differences. Then the next step up, so each of these is a step up. It's kind of the last one with a little bit more detail thrown in. The next one is interval, which is a little bit hard to understand. It says you can arrange it in order, and differences are meaningful, but there is no natural zero or starting point. So I'll give you one of my easiest examples of interval. That would be the temperature. So I don't know, the temperature this morning was not scorching yet. So here's my beautiful picture of the thermometer. What was the temperature this morning? Maybe 70?
68.
68? Well, put 70. 68, all around. It's probably 70 by now. Probably past it already, right? So 70 is the temperature. And maybe somewhere else this morning it's 30. Not here, but somewhere it's probably 30, somewhere in the world, right? I'm talking about Fahrenheit degrees. It could even be 0 somewhere, especially when we get into the later part of the fall and the winter. And it could be -10 at some point, right? All this makes sense when we talk about temperatures. So we can actually talk about the differences between this. It's 40 degrees warmer. We know what 1 degree is. I mean, we can't necessarily feel it, but we know how to measure 1 degree warmer. There's a difference between, like you said, 68 and I said 70. There's 2 degrees difference, so the differences make sense. So that's what it means here when it says you can put them in order, like smallest to biggest, and the differences are meaningful now. But there is no natural 0 or starting point. There is a 0, but when we say a natural 0, 0 means nothing. If I asked you how much money you have and you told me you have 0, that means you have no money, right? And if I ask you how much of your homework have you done and you say 0, that means you haven't started your homework yet. But if I ask you what the temperature is and we say 0, that doesn't mean we go outside and feel nothing. All right? You still feel something. It actually feels pretty cold if you go outside, especially dressed like this. So it doesn't mean the absence of something, right? And when you're talking about temperatures, it's just kind of a number on a scale that means something. It doesn't mean you have nothing. You have no temperature. And you wouldn't say that, this is more than twice as hot as this. We don't talk about temperatures like it's twice as hot yesterday. Like, temperatures don't work that way, right? Because we don't have a 0, that means no temperature. Everyone all right with what this example has to do about what it means differences are meaningful and no natural 0? The only examples I can come up with, I had a student last semester who gave me a third one. I don't remember what it was. The only ones I can ever come up with, until I learned a new one that I've already forgotten, are temperatures and years. Like you were born in the year 1995. The year 0, we're not going to get into religion. The year 0 was not when everything started counting, right? That's not when time began. I think most of us would probably agree with that, yes.
What about women's jeans? You have a size 0, but that doesn't mean there's nothing.
Oh, there's a new example. Sizes for jeans. There's 2, 4, 6, and they have a 0 for people who are skinnier than skinny. 0 doesn't mean you don't exist and you don't wear jeans. I love it when I get new examples. You can put them in order, right? Size 2 is bigger than a size 0, but 0 doesn't mean you don't even exist. You still get to wear those jeans. Love it when people give me new ideas. So now, the only examples I can come up with today, because I can't remember my other one, are temperatures, years, and women's jeans. There might be other ones. I already come up with them. I always want new ones. I should have written down my ones from last semester. We all right though how that means, what I mean by no 0, but the order does make sense? Yeah, there is a 0, but not what we call it. A natural 0 means nothing, right? Invisible jeans when they're size 0. That would not be recommended. All right, so that's interval. And then ratio is everything else you've ever seen. Money is a perfect example. If you have 0 money, you know you have no money. And if you have $10 and she has $20, she has twice as much money as you. Right? 10 versus 20. The word ratio is you can talk about twice as much, half as much, and that makes sense. Where here I couldn't talk about something being twice as hot or half as hot with these numbers, right? But money's a good example. Height is an example, right? If you measure something at 0, it has no height whatsoever. 0 is and even a negative wouldn't make sense in that case, right? You can't have a negative height. So 0 is the beginning of where you start measuring. You could have negative money. This means you owe money instead of you get money, right? But ratio is pretty much everything else you've ever seen. And 0 means you don't have it, whatever the it might be. Questions about page 8?